Well, my name is John David Schneider, and I have had a dream for a very long time to live near the ocean. More specifically, I've always wanted to live on a sailboat. So that's what I'm doing. Now I live on this boat. It is a 1981 Newport 28. At first, the plan was just to fix it up. When I found it, it was sinking at the dock. It was abandoned, covered in moss and lichen. The bilge wasn't working, so the cabin was flooded and smelled of mold and mildew. The motor didn't work. The electronics didn't work. So I've spent the last few months just fixing it up, working hard to clean it up and get things running. I've got the motor back running, and I've even been out for a few sails. At first, the plan was simply to just live on a sailboat, to experience life on the Pacific coast, to forage and fish for food and live more sustainably. But something's changed recently. I've suddenly been hit with two things. Number one, I want to have a destination in mind, some grand adventure, someplace that I've always wanted to visit, my ancestral home of Scotland, in particular Inverness, Scotland. So that's the first goal, to sail from Vancouver, Canada to Inverness, Scotland. The second goal is just to not be alone. I'm looking for my forever person, and somewhere along the way, I will find her. So between these two epic quests, it's going to be a grand adventure, and I'd love it if you came along with me.
I bought my own sail.
This makes the boat look so different. Oh, it's bright out here this morning all of a sudden. I'm having trouble sleeping lately. And part of it is that I'm just so excited lately, just feeling so energized. I was up last night at like 3:30 and just woke up bang, and I just couldn't help but think of all the joys that are happening in my life right now, the things that have clicked into place with what I'm doing with the channel and what I'm doing here with Vie Sauvage and I. Yeah, there's just a million things racing through my mind. It's hard to relax. But man, I'll take that any day. After so many decades of just being numb to joy, and this is such a great relief for me. A little update on the boat, I guess. This week has been sort of focused on that channel. I don't want to call it a rebrand, but that channel refocus of this epic journey that I'm on has taken its time in, just thinking about the brand, the marketing of it, like thinking about the social media aspect of things, like rewriting descriptions and reworking the website and different things. And, sometimes I get a little trapped in that, right? Because I don't know how important all that is. I want to be consistent with my messaging across all the platforms, and so it's important to me. But, you know, the reality is that you guys probably just care about what I'm doing on the boat, right? And you know, now that I've decided that there's a destination in mind, or destination determined, which is Scotland, it just opens up this entire world of possibilities. I was on a podcast yesterday, I want to say, Whiskey and Whitetails. Gus and Matt had me on their show, and that was the second time I've been on the show, but it was just fun to talk to them. You know, they said after the recording was over, like, you know, what a great discussion that was. It was because I was just so passionate about something. I just feel so energized by this new decision. And also this decision to find that special forever person. It's, you know, that was a revelation as well, where it's like, yeah, no, I just don't want to be alone anymore. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. But for me, it was just a clear decision to not accept that feeling. Some people are fine being alone, and they thoroughly enjoy their own company, as do I. But it's just this thing that I'm doing. I would love to share that with somebody. So, you know. Okay, so what have I done on the boat? This week, I finally got the compass installed, and it looks great. It's just behind the camera. So it's hooked up to the lights. It works. It looks good. There's the new compass. Well, the old compass. And yeah, so I got the woodwork all done to it. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works. Got the lights hooked up on it, so you can see at night. So yeah, there we go. What do you guys think? Beautiful sunny day today, so it's a good day to put the sleeping bag. I'm using the sleeping bag actually as a bit of a mattress, because the mattress, the cushions in the V-berth are substandard, let's put it that way. So that sleeping bag actually, it provides a little more cushion. So I need to get that figured out as well, get some foam mattresses installed. So yeah, so I just put the sleeping bag out on the mast, air it out. I actually beat it with the bill hook and got rid of some dust and stuff on it. So yeah, it's nice to air stuff out on a beautiful day. Getting some really great weather here lately. It's a perfect day to be sailing. And I should, but I've just got to get this video out for this weekend, and tomorrow I'm racing, so I lose my Saturday, which is usually my editing day. So tomorrow racing, and so today I'm just going to spend the rest of the afternoon here just putting a video together, and I might delay getting it out. I might put it out on like, you know, Monday or Tuesday. I was thinking about changing the day anyways. There's a few other people I know that put their videos out on Sundays. I don't know what you guys think. Like, does it matter? Or do you look forward to having it on Sundays? So maybe just let me know in the comments if there's like an overwhelming preference for when people like to see these videos, then that's what I'll do. What else have I done? I got the depth sounder working-ish, but the face is cracked on it, and you can hardly read it. So actually, somebody through the Amazon wish list sent me the fish finder that I had wanted. So it's a depth sounder or fish finder thing, and I thought, well, that would be handy. So that was lovely. I don't think that they want their name out there yet, so I will respect that, but I really appreciate that gift. So I haven't installed that yet, but I will. The other thing I did was I finally found, there's so many cubby holes in this boat and compartments and things, and I found the auto helm. So when Rick and I went out sailing the other day, I plugged it in and it worked-ish. The connections were quite loose. So yesterday I took the time to get in there with a piece of sandpaper and clean out the connections, and I actually pried them out a little bit, just flexed them a little bit so that when I insert them into the plug, they have some friction that what was happening when I plugged it in, it was just kind of wobbling loose and would click on and off. So you were just losing your heading all the time. So I fixed that. The prongs fit in nice and tight now, and it seems to work. So I'm anxious to get out and try that. What else have I done? Oh, yeah, a big thing. You'll notice I took the Dodger off. What was happening was that when I was sailing, it was hard for me to get the lines secured properly or organized properly because the frame of the Dodger was in the way. So you had to sort of bend the Dodger out of the way to get the lines around the cleat to secure them. And so, I was saying to Rick, I was complaining about it. It was low because the height of the boom is quite low. So you're just ducking to get in and out of everything, and it's not helpful to sail. The other thing too was how's the hair, by the way? The other thing too is when I'm trying to sail solo, especially in heavier seas, you just need every second that you can to get to the helm and get things secure, get the heading you want, for instance, into the wind to be able to get the sails up. And you just don't have a lot of time. So working my way around the Dodger, you sort of extended yourself out away from the boat a little bit, if that makes sense. And it didn't feel safe. And then the other thing that happened is it was such rough water the other day that it had handled like grab bars on it. And when I went to grab it, a wave sort of hit and threw me backwards a bit. And so I put pressure on it, and the other side of the Dodger just came dislodged completely. And so all of a sudden I was like, whoa, and I had to grab something else. So it wasn't safe either. So yeah, that's gone, and it looks a lot better. The functionality, of course, is missing now. That Dodger was there to protect the cabin entry from weather. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I mean, there's two things. This boat wasn't designed, I don't believe, with a Dodger installed. It was designed to work as is. And the other thing is that every single boat around me has a Dodger. So there's clearly a purpose. Well, actually, there's a boat right there that doesn't. And, oh yeah, I completely lied. There's two boats right across from me that don't. Oh, I rebedded some of the fittings that were around. So when I took the Dodger off the cabin, there was some holes that were left. So I've re-epoxied those holes and to try to keep some of the moisture out. And then I've also done the same thing here with the pedestal mount where it goes through the cockpit floor. So, it's just little things like trying to get things sort of organized and ship shape to be able to start making some passages. And one of the things that I'm considering doing, not considering, I am doing it next week, is I'm going to take the boat down to Bellingham. And that will be fun. I will talk to you about that later, but I have a friend who's coming in from Iowa. And so I will sail the boat down there at some point next week, and we'll meet up there, and we're just going to do some sailing. And I'll introduce you. I have Savvy Navi installed and paid for on my iPhone. I am going to start looking now for an iPad because I want some redundancy with navigation. But anyways, for now I've got the cell phone, and I can kind of see line of sight from here to Bellingham. It's 30 miles. So we'll have to keep an eye on the weather. It'll be the first trip that I do that has a destination. Up till now, I've just been sailing, and I'll sail that direction, and then I'll sail that direction, and just work my way around. But now it is going to be something where there's my friend Tim. Don't know what he's doing. Anyways, so now it's going to be the first sort of time where I sail with this destination in mind. I have to be there Thursday morning for 11 o'clock. So as far as I can see with the navigation app, it'll take me about 6 hours. So I think the plan is, of course, weather dependent, go down the day before or even 2 days before. Like, I just need to get down there before is the point, so that I don't miss that meetup time. So yeah, really looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Oh, tomorrow is my first racing day. So I've crewed up with a boat that is racing tomorrow morning. So I'll shoot a bunch of footage of that. That'll be fun. And I've been told that is the ultimate way to learn how to sail. A little bit of pressure, trying to go fast. I'll just do what I'm told, right? But the entire time I'll be observing things, watching the wind, watching how the sails are set. I have a feeling I'm going to learn a bunch, so I'll take the GoPro along with me and shoot some footage of that. I hope the wind is better than it is now, because there is zero right now. So anyways.
All the way around till we're pointing at the starting line. Keep going. Inshore the committee boat. Get ready to attack. Ready? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack. Pack in. Sorry. Go early. Continue on the yeah, we still have one more tack going. So yeah, I've got 2 Massachusetts. So I bought my own sailboat. It was a Fireball, which it was. Quick! Go. Dive in. Dive.
So how long have you been racing, Kevin?
I've been a contract racing navigator now for 6 years, 7 years, and I've been racing since I was 20 some odd. I used to own a Fireball in New York, which was a sort of a dinghy, a 1 or 2 person racing sloop.
And maybe just introduce everybody. What are we on? What's your boat here?
Okay, so we're on Opus, which is a CNC 43. She has a pretty good pedigree. Under the previous skipper, she won Swift Short twice. So that's a pretty good feather in her cap. And then she's a CNC custom, which means she's not a production boat. She came out of their custom house, and they only built 12 of these.
Wow.
This is 1 of 12, and I don't know how many actually still exist. Good and bad, she was purpose built for this kind of thing. The bad part is you can't get engineering drawings or anything else because they're all custom built.
One-ofs, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what she is. She's also competed in the Van Al 360 and a bunch of other things.
Cool.
I bought her 3-4 years ago. Been renovating her ever since, and her interior condition shows it.
Nice. Oh no, it's a beautiful boat.
And let's see what else. So 2 years ago, I took her up to Alaska.
Oh wow.
And that's where Hubert helped me bring her back. And that's a whole story in itself. And to my right is Fraser. He is in charge of my foredeck. He's also my co-skipper. So if I'm not skippering for some reason, he has permission to take her out.
What am I?
What are you?
Yeah.
You are currently a new crew person, currently doing mainsail trim and whatever else needs to get done.
In the snake pit.
Yep, in the snake pit.
It's pretty cool. It's fun. Thank you for letting me be on the boat with you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
It's fun. So yeah, lots of stuff happening on the channel. I'm so happy that you're here with me. We're going to have this new energy about us where we are getting ready for this big journey. And in a way, the journey's already started. We're at mile 0, but before we can even start that first mile, there's still lots to do and lots to learn, and I'll just take you along on that journey with us. So, and then as I start getting more input from experienced viewers, sailors, we'll reform the plan as best we can. Already today, I had somebody who's a professional sailor in Scotland tell me not to do the Greenland route, which is really disappointing because that is some place that I would really love to see. So, but you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. And so one thought that had crossed my mind days ago is, well, maybe just crew on a boat that's doing that route across, right? Spend a month or two, or however long it takes, right? Spend that time to be on that boat and get across and go, oh, okay, that's what this is about. And then come back to Vie Sauvage and continue our journey. And that can happen at any point in time, right? It can happen now, or it can happen months from now when I'm down in Mexico or in the Caribbean or on the eastern seaboard. It doesn't matter. So there's that thought as well. But anyways, his suggestion was that I go up to Newfoundland and then do a great circle, but do a great arc, a gentle arc down into the Azores, and then catch southwesterly winds up into the Irish Sea and through the Caledonian Canal and into Inverness. And, so there you go. There's this guy who's a professional sailor who in one comment on the video sort of changes the entire plan. Well, not the entire plan, but modifies severely the entire plan in my mind. And, I'm sure there'll be other examples of that as I go. So anyways, if you're somewhere along that journey and you want to meet up, then that is what this channel is about. Creating that community of people to generate some inspiration for people. I mean, if I can do this, anybody can do it. And maybe your dream isn't to sail to Scotland. Maybe your dream is something else. But I'm here to tell you that if you can manifest something and somebody else in your condition has done it, then I promise you that you can do it too. I promise you that. It's just a matter of how badly do you want it. And so I hope that inspiration kind of comes through in the social media posts and then the videos that I do. I would love that. So anyways, thank you for your support. Please remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Please be in touch with me with the comments or visit me over on social media, John Schneider's Wildlife on most platforms. And hit that like button, will you? I appreciate it. Cheers.